So you came to me about a specific student that you needed some input for a situation you're handling with him?
Yes, I had a student named Jose who came in to me because he was failing his math class.
Okay.
And he's very committed to bringing up his grade, but right now we're looking at different choices for him, like what we can do to help him.
What math class is he in right now?
He's in trigonometry pre-calculus.
Okay. And what was his grades in what class was he in last semester, or last year?
Algebra 2, and he got a C first semester and an A second semester, so he was recommended.
Okay, so that shows that he has adequate skills in algebra, which trig pre-cal should be okay. Okay, what's his current grade in trig pre-cal?
F.
Okay. So let's see. We're in week what? Week 9 of school? Week 8?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He's a senior. How are his other grades? Like overall, his transcript, is he an A through G kid? Is he college prep?
He's an A through G kid. He needs his class to get into a university, and he currently has about a B average in all his classes except for this one.
Okay, so he's definitely college prep, and yeah. So what are some possible options that we can discuss for him? Let's see. What do you think? Maybe overall, he's completed about 3 years of math already, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So can we consider maybe? I'm gonna grab this real quick. Can we consider maybe taking out of math completely? Taking them completely out of the class?
That's a possibility, but we would have to see if putting him into a new class would not set him up for him not progressing well in that class because it's so late in the year.
Yeah. He's a senior, right? Is he a 12th grader? Yeah, right?
Yes, he's a 12th grader.
Okay, so then trig pre-cal, if he's doing not so good in that class, I would say maybe statistics is just another possibility. So maybe we can do statistics.
Mm-hmm.
And then what would be another option? I would say maybe just having him stick it out and see what he can do, and giving him a trig pre-cal. So let's see. What do you think? Let's get some input on this. So let's do some pros and cons on each of our little possible situations here. For the math, keeping him out of math completely, what are some pluses on that and what are some minuses? What do you think?
Well, some minuses would be if we give him something like a TA, it wouldn't look good on his application.
Yeah, so he wouldn't be as competitive entering college,
right,
or applying to college. So no competition. Okay, yeah, that's true. Also, I would think that taking him out of math would hinder him, because once he goes into college and he has to take that placement exam into that, having a year of no math practice is going to be bad for him.
Yes, I agree.
So on the plus side, I mean, it'll remove him the possibility of him actually having math on his transcript, but I think for this one, the negatives outweigh the positives. So we'll come back to that one and explore it a little bit more. How about the stats class? Let's see. For me, stats is not based on algebra. So if he's struggling in algebra-based and computational math, maybe, he's going to need something that isn't as computational, but statistics is analytical. So maybe, that we can name that as a plus, that it's a non-algebra based. What else do you think?
Well, it's late in the year to put him in statistics, but I'm sure we can make an arrangement with the teacher to see how he can keep up with a good grade there if he enters so late. That's my main concern.
Yeah, that's the one thing. We're 2 months into the school year, and statistics, you have to know the basics of numerical analysis for most part, and that's covered in the first couple of chapters. And if he's coming in and they're already doing like variances, and so he missed standard deviation, he missed mean, median, and mode, it would have to be self-teaching himself the first 2 chapters to catch up to the rest of the class. So maybe that can also be put as a negative. So positive would be maybe non-algebra based. Negative would be keeping it. The negative would be the fact that he'd be behind it to start with. And how about the third one? Let's say we want him to stay in the class. What can be some positives? How can we make him perform at a higher level within the class, although he's already struggling?
Well, I know that part of it is he hasn't had adequate tutoring because he has a lot of activities going on. So if he was to be more structured and get tutoring for it, and we could see what areas he's low in and what he needs to get tutoring in, he might be able to bring up the grade.
Yeah, I would say also plus he's already been in there, so he wouldn't be behind since he's been there since day one. So there wouldn't be no catching up to do. I think for him it would just be brushing up on his algebra skills that he's lacking there right now, but everything else he already has the exposure to the algebra, so I would think he wouldn't need to catch up. I would say the only negative for this one would be the possibility of him getting an F. But I mean, he already completed his 3 years of math. He's already A through G complacent with the math portion.
Right.
So let's see. So let's weigh out to see what we can do. So the math out completely. What do you think? That one is a possible solution, or would we rather have him in a regular math, in some type of math and no math? So are we gonna rule this one out?
Well,
Would you rather have him in math than no math?
I'd rather have him in math than no math. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I agree too. So we're gonna rule out getting them completely out of math. Statistics and trig pre-count. That would be our now to determine what we can do. In statistics, I mean, we both have the intervention factor here would be tutoring, and I think with the trig pre-cal, he already doesn't need to catch up. With the statistics, he would need to catch up. So if we just include the intervention of tutoring into the equation, the trig pre-cal solution seems to be the best since he's already been in the class since day one. No catching up should be needed. And maybe the tutoring would give him the additional help he needs to bring up his grade. I mean, really, he's at an F right now, but this is half the way through the semester. He can possibly bring it up to a C or even a B if he's successful.
That's a good possible solution.
Plus, the thinking methods between stats and trig are completely different. If he's been 2 months of exposure into algebra-based math, and he goes into statistics, which is completely a different type of analysis of the numbers, I think he'll even have a struggle there just in the change. Would I would say the trig pre-cal. What do you think?
Yeah, out of all three, I think that's the best decision. The second one was a possible option, but the third is probably the best one to try right now because the tutoring hasn't really been in effect yet. It needs to take it more seriously.
Okay, so then let's do the trig pre-cal with monitored tutoring, so we can make sure that he's getting that tutoring and see if that makes a difference. And bringing in the parents. What does the parents input about all of this? What do they say?
So far, they wanted him to stick to the trig.
Okay.
As of 3 weeks ago, I don't know how they feel now since he's still failing. We can revisit that with the parents.
Okay. So let's say right before winter break, so I would give it maybe like 4 more weeks. We can help him with tutoring and then bring him in and assess him again in 4 weeks to see if the tutoring made a difference, because then at that point we can consider a change again at the semester.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm wondering at that time whether we should have a parent conference with the teacher and the student and myself. I just feel like the teacher's input. I still haven't had that conference with him about his progress.
Yeah, even if the solution is to keep them in trig pre-cal, giving the teacher the heads up that hey, this student is struggling, we've given them tutoring services, maybe just seeking additional help or resources that he can do, or maybe allowing extra work so he can catch up his work grade or extra credit, that would even help.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, well, we can meet again in about 4 weeks to see how he's doing, making sure his tutoring is going well, and then seeing hopefully this is a successful move for him. Thank you very much.